All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. This is our final project, our final box. Yes, this individual, they didn't want to do a jewelry box. They wanted to do a box. So I said, well, take the wheel, dear. Looking very presidential up in here, isn't it? So there's no ring holders. This is just space to hold whatever. This is the drawer. We got one big drawer here. Okay, so we got this little shelf here. I like it. It's very nice. I wouldn't have, thought about that. It's really giving like engineer, builder. And then we have our little holders here in case, you want to hang something up here. Okay, so we are finished with our projects now. So I'm going to have to relax for a little bit because I'm going to go in and resin these boxes, but I must do the outside. I'm going to actually paper mache the outside, and it's going to get hard. So when I pour the resin in, it's not going to leak out because, as you can see, there are some, spaces here to where the resin can leak out. But once I go in and paper mache the whole bottom and it turns hard, when we resin the inside of it, then the paper mache will catch it, and it will just combine. Is that the word that I'm looking for? It will just bind or bond to the paper mache, making it even more secure. So I mean, I'm very happy. This was, very different. This was kind of like the most relaxing one to do because it really wasn't much to think about. Just kind of went in and jumped in there with the flow of things. Okay. And I also had some other experiences too. So we are about to get into that because I ended up working a little bit on my animation film, and then I ended up it was very spirited this morning. Okay, so I mean, this is it, our final project, and we're about to get into the rest of the video. But until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you. Okay, so let's get into the messages. So there's like this controversy. It's somebody said that single women, you heard that horn? What is it? Oh my God, they is being petty early in the morning. They is being petty. So single women keep single women single. Okay. So, I mean, it's crazy because I had asked God. I was just like, God, is that true? So God showed me something, right? Because there's this woman, and it's kind of like, it's like she's trying to be and keep up with her friends, but the lifestyle and who her friends are, that's not her. So she's being influenced and getting caught up within her friends. She's trying to do things like her friends. She want to be wild like her friends. When in all actuality, she's a homebody. She wants to be in the house with her man. And she wants a man helping her and taking care of her. So she works at a job and she hangs out with all of the authorities. So everybody is in a higher position. So they have more authority and they're getting more money than her. So it's like she's stressing out trying to keep up with them. And I'm just like, girl, what is you mad for? What is you stressed out? Because you trying to keep up with them, but that's not even who you are, and that's not even what you want. Them bitches, they the she man hating club. Like, they don't want a man, they don't want a relationship, they want to get money. They want to deal with men that have money and will throw them money, but that's it. That's not who you are. You want a real relationship, a loving relationship. You want somebody to come home to. You want monogamy. You want somebody taking care of you, helping you, because you have other things that you enjoy doing that could also, you could create like a stream of income, a different stream of income for yourself. You want an easy life. So it's just like, why are you making decisions, putting yourself in a position to where you're trying to keep up with some shit you don't even want? You see, this is, and it's like, why you're competing? Why are you competing? Why are you competing for some shit that you're gonna be upset that you obtain? If you compete and you get what you think that you want, then you realize it's not really what you want. Then your ass gonna be mad. Now you done wasted time. Now you gotta figure it out all over again. And it was such a struggle, hustle, and bustle to get to what you didn't want in the fucking first place. Because the whole time, God, the universe, was trying to tell you this is not the way for you to go, but cannot intervene within your free will. So you can get all the signs you want to. If you don't ask for them to assist or to come in and help you, they cannot come in and help you. So you're just out here doing what you think you should be doing to get what you don't want. So with witnessing this, I'm just like, you know, I mean, whoever has an influence over you, you know, but I mean, that's the power of choice. That is the beauty of choice and the beauty of decision. But I was just like, look at this shit. She is going crazy. It looks delusional. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks delusional. It's not like, my thing is that you know you're not in the position that you want to be in. You know, and you're out here making decisions to where you're trying to keep up with people who have more. Like, you know, I don't even trust those people, because it's kind of like, are they sitting back laughing at her behind her back and all this type of stuff? Like, do they appreciate her? I feel like how she's treating her friend, because she has a friend, and it seems like, you know, this friend is helping her, this friend is assisting her with certain things. It's like, I don't know, it's like at work she want to put on a show, but in her life, you know, she's something in somebody else. We're really observing this situation. I'm just like, she's unconscious of what she's doing. I guarantee you, if she could see herself, then she would realize certain things. She would realize what's going on. And that's what I'm saying. But you cannot have a camera on you, on your life. You know, you have to do self-reflection. You have to take time out to think about and reflect on your situations. So, I mean, I said, wow. I said, so I see what he's saying. I see what they be saying when they say this shit. You know, because it's just like, there's no way, you know, and her friend, the friend that's close to her, be trying to help her out. She's so prideful with that friend. And I was just like, why is she, you know, that's the one. I mean, I don't understand. I was so confused. You need help. You have assistance, but you're acting too prideful. And then it's kind of like you're looking down on your friends because you're disgusted with yourself because you can't keep up with these people. I'm just like, well, I'm disgusted with how you're handling the whole situation on the outside looking in. So that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it be looking real delusional out here. it be, and I, you know, and I say to myself, it's so simple. You know, motherfuckers just gotta slow down, take time out to reflect. I feel like people be thinking about their problems all the time, you know, instead of like thinking through them, or instead of trying to find solutions. It's kind of like when there's a problem, you think on that problem doesn't make you feel good. So you just stay stuck in purgatory, anchored to that thought and that feeling, you know. Sometimes you hold on to it and it just build up. It build up within your body. It creates tension. Sometimes, you know, you'll notice that it creates anxiety. You know, so finally this woman, you know, she breaks down and she's just like, well, I want some help, and you know, my boyfriend is this and that, and see, I get nervous because it's kind of like when people need help, they really cannot. It's like they can't afford to be in love, and I'm talking about like spiritual currency wise. They can't be in love. They can't find love. They can't, you know, because they're so needy. They need so much. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about the need to fulfill. I see the word artist. Are we dealing with an artist? my. I'm trying to tell you, well, this sounds like a man. Because, I mean, a man does not choose a woman that he loves. He chooses a woman for a reason, a specific reason. You know, men can be so selfish sometimes in the way that they create. The selfishness comes from the lack of honesty. You know, because some men, like, they have a vision for their life. They have a vision. They know what they want. They want to move in the direction of that. They know how they want their life to look. How they want their partner to look. Don't care about the quality of a person or the foundation if it's a real foundation. It's just all about the look of things. You know. I mean, to each his own. We're creators. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know, but a lot of the times later on in life, you kind of realize that even though you have put together what looks and seems to be like a cool family foundation or a cool life, you really miss the substance. You really miss the depth. You and your partner. And it's like the two of you have just become something so far away from knowing who the two of you are as individuals. So, you know, it just all becomes about your identity, just becomes all about that relationship. It's like you're in a bubble. Now, I mean, if you like that bubble, then stay in that bubble. You know, but I mean, it just kind of feels like the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Certain things people are realizing certain things, and there are certain realizations that somebody is having about. It's kind of like realizing you have been sitting on diamonds this whole time. You have been overlooking the value of each other. I don't know if somebody's going through a separation, or if there has been a separation and somebody is realizing, you know, they're reflecting over the years, over the times, over the moments, and it's just like, to me, it seems like they're thinking about all the things that they took for granted, all the small things that they overlooked and took for granted. You know, things that could have. It's just like life could have been different. Life, that's what I pick up. Life could have been different. Well, I mean, you can't dwell on what could have been. Now that you see, start creating. But see, now you don't have those same people. Now you're not working with those same resources. Now, well, welcome to a very fresh new beginning. Yeah. That's all that is. And you may not have a lot of support or a lot of people around. Well, you don't need it. And that is the miracle. And people are going to see that. I have no idea. What is this? For some reason, I feel like this is a movie or something. I feel like it's some type of production, maybe like Broadway, you know, maybe like a movie, cinema or something, you know. I mean, we picked up artists. Okay, writer. Are you a writer? Script writer? There's something about literature and wordplay when it comes to you. So you're very articulate. You know, you like writing, you like reading. You have a library? A library. So it's giving me something neural, definitely sapiosexual, very intelligent, just very, very intelligent, very wise, very ancient. Big energy. So is this throughout these sessions? I picked up on a lot. Somebody has a lot of something. So, is that you, dear? You have a lot of knowledge, a lot of knowing, a lot of experience. It almost gives like Jester, you know. You are actually moving through timelines and lifespans within this one lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So you are a time traveler. That's what it is. That's what I'm trying to say. A time traveler. So, it's like throughout your life, you have been like many different, I want to say, I don't necessarily want to say characters, but I mean, that's kind of you. It's not characters, but you have moved through who you have been in past lives. It's like you've moved through a whole time of various past lives within one lifetime. So what is this? What is this? Is this the artistry? This is the artistry of acting, right? Right. So you must be an actor, right? This is the true artistry. I'm trying to tell you, like, I remember Tyler Perry saying anybody can act. I'm just like, what is he talking? I'm just like, no, anybody can pretend, but not everybody can act, because acting is an artistry. And I saw that, when I was connecting to a actor. He's a young actor, and he was very passionate. He really didn't like how people simplify acting, and I just saw the artistry within him. But it did not go deep enough. It did not go deep enough. I'm just like, yeah, I get it, but I feel like there's more, because I love art. And you have some people to where it's like they want to simplify it and and kind of like water it down. Well, okay, you can do that, but don't forget, it's kind of like an herb, right? You put the whole bag of herbs into the water, it's going to be very potent. But if you take a pinch of it and you put it in the water, it's very diluted. Regardless, it is what it is. So, I mean, you can try to water down and shit all the fuck you want to, but I mean, you just can't see. You don't have the eyes of depth. You cannot see beyond, And a lot of people, they're not, it's like abstract and complexity. They just don't get it. They just cannot keep up with it. Because a lot of the times people are looking for the absolute. In some cases, I do believe there is absolute, and in some cases, I believe not. Because if you think about the balance of the universe, you think about harmony, we talk about the impossible, but at the same time, things are very possible. So, yes, darling. Yes. It is an artistry. So you have mastered this artistry. It's like you have the grand understanding of it. Okay, so you are very enlightened. So you have brought me the enlightenment. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right. So you as an actor, I don't care if you are very well known or if you are known, you have played the role of of everybody you have been in a past life, or energy that, or character or person that you have embodied. It's still within the past life. It doesn't have to be the name. It doesn't have to be, it's just the energy. But if you think about it, it's one energy. So that's what I'm saying, is different lifetimes. Each lifetime that you come back, well, you have to adjust to the time. Okay, so, but it's like in this lifetime, you've played the character of all your past life people, personalities and characters. And the thing is that I don't know, you may have even played the role of an individual who is still alive. Well, that is the future. That is very future forward. Right. The magic. Right. So, I mean, I have been picking up that somebody is going to awaken to the magic within. So, I really didn't want to say anything because, I have my opinion about acting. And, I have seen how dangerous it can be for some people, because it's like, bro, they haven't let go of the character. They're still playing that character in their real life. Like, honestly, you can kind of tell. And then when individuals, it's kind of like when they're repetitive and playing a certain role, I mean, just like Taraji said, like, we're opening up our soul to these characters. You definitely want to have boundaries with that. But I mean, when you're passionate about something, when you love it, you dive straight into it. You engulf yourself in it. So yeah, I understand. But, that's why I say it, it is an artistry. We talk about war, but even there, you have the art of war. So, some shit you just can't dumb down and water down. Some shit you just can't. You can try, but it just will not stick. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. So that's what I pick up, right? Because I was having a hard time tapping into this energy because I'm just like, oh God, you just really trying to keep me out, but it's like trying to keep me out because you think that I'm not going to understand. Right. And I may not understand. So tell me, show me what you see. That is a part of my gift, the empathy. I can experience, I can feel, it's vicarious. I can vicariously step through. Right, dear. It's one big magical playground. We just have to figure out, how, and this is what I'm saying. I love connecting to people to where I can explore more of my gifts. I like when an individual can see a vision for me. It may not be my vision, but I mean, shit, share it with me. Maybe I can, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can experience it. And, who knows what will happen, the gems that I'll discover and the things that I'll learn from the experience. Who knows? So, right. And this is a part of opening the mind, right. Okay. So that's it. We will cut it off there. So, some people's onion just peels back slow. That's all. Right? So we must be patient. Okay. And so until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.